In this episode of Highlight Sundays, Snapchat, Bitcoin, and possibly new smartwatches. Hello and welcome back to Highlight Sundays. It is the first week of 2014. Happy New Year! Here are your highlights. We start off first with our biggest PSA of this entire week, and that is the Snapchat hack. On New Year's Day, Snapchat's databases were compromised, leaking 4.6 million usernames and phone numbers on the internet. Now it seems that the hackers were nice enough to censor part of the phone numbers, so the last two digits were actually blanked off, and as a result, and as a consolation I guess, the people who are affected by this will not actually get spam calls or anything along those lines. Despite this small consolation, this is still a pretty darn massive security breach. Currently, Snapchat is known to be working with authorities, and in addition to that, the developers behind Snapchat are actually rolling out a new version of the software that will actually allow users to opt out of the Find Friends feature, which is apparently what is compromised in this attack. Are you a Snapchat user who may be affected? Well, I have a link for you that you can actually use to query to see if your account has been compromised. In addition to that, I also have two articles, both coming from Mashable, that will actually give you more details regarding this story. As always, all links to relevant articles are in the video description. We move on to yet another article from Mashable. This one is entitled, Security Firm Warns About App That Pays for Unused Text Messages. So in a nutshell, here's what's going on. If you have a postpaid line that has, a certain quota for text messages, what this app actually lets you do is you can sell your unused quota to them. They'll actually pay you 1/10 of a cent per SMS you sell them, and well, they will pay you money and they will use that quota. It all sounds well and good until you realize that these guys may be using this to send spam, do things like, evade blacklists, things like that. And in fact, one major repercussion for using this app is the fact that this violates your mobile phone provider's terms of service. According to some users of this app, their phone lines have actually been completely cut, and understandably so, since no mobile provider will allow, a person to actually use their quota like this. So there you go, if something is too good to be true, chances are it probably is, so keep an eye out. Moving on to Bitcoins. One of the more up-and-coming trends regarding the internet. People have been jumping on the Bitcoin bandwagon like crazy, and it has been lauded as the currency of the future. But we need to actually take note of what its issues and flaws are as well. Unfortunately, the entire premise behind Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency is somewhat thick with technical details. Now personally, I've spent a lot of time trying to read up on things that will give me technical information regarding Bitcoin in general, and till date I haven't managed to find it until I saw this article. This article is called a Bitcoin FAQ and is hosted on brokenlibrarian.org. Unfortunately, this FAQ doesn't have a section really for complete tech newbies. Well, there is, it's just a couple of lines saying don't buy Bitcoin, it's a bad idea. Unfortunately, to explain things further, technical knowledge is required. However, if you have some amount of knowledge or interest, you will probably like this article because it makes things simple and easy enough to understand. Interested in investing in Bitcoin? Read this article first and maybe reconsider. Once again, link to this article in the video description. We move on to our last article for the day, thankfully no longer PSA related. This one is entitled, Archos will debut multiple Pebble-like smartwatches at CES, starting at less than $50. Now, for those of you who are not aware, smartwatches have been the craze, the bandwagon for mobile device manufacturers in 2013. Ever since the Pebble smartwatch achieved a huge level of popularity, it seems that a lot of people now want to actually jump in on the bandwagon and give it a shot. The fact that this particular smartwatch is termed Pebble-like hopefully means that it has an e-paper display. And that seems to be a pretty important aspect of a smartwatch. Its low price tag is also something that is extremely attractive. Now all that's left to see is whether or not they can actually deliver what they promise at that low price point. I'm definitely looking forward to knowing more about this particular product, but as it stands, we don't really know a whole lot just yet. Anyway, that's it. That's all there is for this episode of Highlight Sundays. If you're wondering why this is shorter than usual, well, watch my New Year's vlog. I'm gonna actually cut down on the length of Highlight Sundays episodes. Anyway, that's it. If you have any comments, queries, or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out the official Twitter account for this channel at twitter.com/0612tv. As always, I appreciate every like, favorite, and subscription you give me. But until next time, you're watching 0612TV.